People want to, why are we here? What is this PACBOB? It sounds pretty catchy, but what is it all about? So what makes PACBOB different? What's so different about this is that we find, as my wife stated earlier, that we are much stronger together. So when we are trying to break down silos, break down barriers, and create the biggest tent possible for Black businesses to succeed. I want to thank the 3 regional African American chambers for their willingness to engage in this effort together and think about how we can create the best possible Pennsylvania for our Black businesses.
I'm thrilled to be gathered here for the launch of something that we have needed in this Commonwealth for a very long time, and that is a system and an infrastructure set up to ensure that businesses owned by African Americans have opportunities simply to thrive, to flourish, to succeed. And what do I know about it? When I was a young public defender, so many went out to start their own offices, but I knew I didn't have an appetite for business. I'd rather just stay in court, and the 15th and the 30th, I knew what was coming. It might not have been much, but I knew what was coming. And so that being said, I'll share, as a little girl, my mother had a deli at 54th and Greenway. And one of the things that she modeled for me as I was very young, still in elementary school, was when you're a business owner, you choose who you're going to employ. And so many people who would be on the corner, she'd say, come in here, do you know how to cook? Do you know how to clean? You want to go on a catering job with me this weekend? And that is the power of Black businesses. You're able to mentor, you're able to give someone a detour who needs another opportunity. And with this Pennsylvania Chamber of Black-owned businesses, I look forward to that story being duplicated in every part of this Commonwealth.
So honored to be here with all of you this morning for the launch of the PA Chamber for Black-owned business and industry. And I'll tell you why this is important, right? When I was growing up, right on the corner of my block, there was a store owned by a guy named C.V. Wilson. So we called the store Mr. Wilson's, right? I would go in that store every morning before I would go to school right across the street, and I get penny candy. I don't even know if they have penny candy anymore, it's too expensive. But penny candy, and don't tell my mama this, because that's why I had to go to the dentist so much. But I would go and I would get my penny candy, I would go get my pizza pretzel, and then I would go off to school. And I remember when I was in 2nd grade, we had an oratorical contest at my elementary school, and I won the oratorical contest. And one of my prizes was a $100 savings bond that was provided by Mr. Wilson and Mr. Wilson's store. Now that might not mean a whole lot to a lot of people, but let me tell you something. Growing up every single day, being able to go to the corner and see a store being owned by somebody that looked like me and somebody that lived in my community made a difference. That same store was also the seed money for a lot of the great programs, I learned this as an adult, that were happening in my community. And not only that, but Mr. Wilson also employed people from my neighborhood that looked just like me, right? So that is the power of having Black-owned businesses here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.